to Speed Force Racing Season 14, Round 4. Sorry for that glitch. I think the formation lap glitch isn't gone yet. So we had to restart the lobby. And now we are all set to start the sprint race again. And this time we have made sure not to keep the formation lap on. So I think we should be sorted to have a glitch-free race, hopefully. And having said that, I think we should be in a position to get going. Unless the team is still sorting the grid position for sprint. So let's wait for a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, you guys can enjoy the screamings of my cat. And as I say that, he's just fallen silent. Alright guys, sorry I was on mute again. Didn't want you guys to suffer through what I do with his screamings all the time. Wanted to go out and I don't know, explore the world. Maybe I should rename him as Dora. Anyways, now we are back for the sprint race. I think the grid is set, no formation lap. We should directly be going from the get-go. So we've got Harry Kane on pole for the sprint. I just want to say a silent prayer to Harry Kane. I'm assuming he's a Tottenham fan, so yeah. Enough said. Just a casual banter, mate. Just a reminder to everyone, although all the drivers, no one can hear me, but you guys should reload your setups and readjust your strategies. Make sure you don't forget to load your setups. It's very critical because I think that's going to serve as spark for him now, even for the race. And now let's see what tire choices people are going to pick, especially Mr. forgot his name. For his jump, yeah, he chosen hard tires for some reason. Let's see what he picked this time around. Just to remind everyone, it's a high rear tire dig circuit. So the wheel spin and the exits are super important. basically not to have wheel spin out of exits. Super important to preserve your tires. And there can be a mix of strategies, assuming no safety cars. I think two-stop strategy can also really work here. And so we wait. All right, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go for the sprint. Let me just quickly, decent getaway from everyone on turn 1. I don't see any incidents happening. That's a very clean getaway by everyone. Decent getaway for Hurricane as well. Everyone's going to turn 2 as well. No such incidents, no crashes that I can see. There are some swaps in behind, but I think everyone's kept everything intact. So kudos guys, that's a nice clean racing. No incidents till now, no yellow flags. That's an achievement in itself. All right, so now everyone's gonna settle down, one after the other, one behind the other, and try and drive their races. So there's a gap between Laser and Sonic, the first apparent gap that is developed, but I'm sure it's going to get closed because lap 1 everyone being bunched up together, and already we're seeing Sonic is catching up to Laser. Apart from that, Hurricane is already, and Xenon has retired at the castle section, and this is the first victim of the night from the castle section, one of the most trickiest corner on the circuit, on the calendar. If you don't get it right, you're definitely gonna DNF, and I think that's what happened with Xenon. We've got a virtual safety car. In terms of gaps, I think Andreas is pretty close to Kane. Other than that, everyone's almost within a second or a second. Oliver's fallen behind quite a bit. I'm not sure what happened there, but then he's going really slowly. Now he's picked up the pace. Now he's closing in on the gap. I think it's part of the VSC restart strategy maybe. He's expecting to go full throttle when the light goes green. And Laser is in the pits already. I'm assuming it's going to be for a front wing change. So is Rake 1-0. Yes, Laser is having a front wing change. A lot of people coming into the pits. And a lot of people have lost their front wings. Kuiper's also coming in for a front wing change. Forest Jump for a front wing change. Cassidy for a front wing change. Matt G. Not sure what happened there, but we've already gone green, guys. I'm sorry, I've completely lost that. VSC has ended. And Hurricane is already starting to pull a gap on Andreas. He's up by almost a second. Behind him, Andreas and Redstone still within sights of each other. Through the castle section we go. Nice and clean. Top 5. And then we have Sonic with a significant gap. Sort of starting the second chain after top 5. And then we've got Orieglus after Oliver. There's a 6-second gap between the two. So now the race has gotten divided into 2 tranches, so to speak. The top 5 have sort of pulled away amongst themselves. Then we've got Sonic closely followed by Martin. I think there'll be no love lost between these two guys running SFR. Meanwhile, out in front, everyone's maintaining the gap of 0.5 seconds except MDJ, who's fallen a little bit behind. So let's see, I think he's just playing a waiting game, trying to keep away from any incident that might happen up ahead. In terms of tires, I think Everyone's on mediums except the people who've had to stop because of wing changes. We've got Forest Jump, Margin, Kuipers and Sots. They might just last, but I'm still not too sure that they'll be effective or have that performance by the end of the race. So the top 5 still maintaining the gaps. No clear runaway amongst them. And then we have Sonic closely followed by Martin through sector 2. Very tight and tricky sector 2. And then we've got Aurelius closely followed by Mr. Wiggles, who's reserving tonight. Mr. Wiggles had his first race last night, if I'm not wrong, with Division 2. So that's how things are right now. Please, bro, please shut up. I'm gonna have to use my mother tongue here to shut him up. Don't worry guys, just try and ignore him. He's a nightmare. So now Jishnu is falling behind from Burmeister by about 3 seconds and continues to lose a bit of time. Meanwhile, Martin has gone past Sonic Hawk. I don't know how he managed to do that in sector 3, and Burmeister is right behind them, right at them. It's going to be a drag race 3 wide on the main straight. Who's got the low wing? Sonic's got DRS. Martin's got DRS. And I think because of that, Burmeister had the DRS. And now they're going 3 wide again in turn 2. Martin's lost out of the 3. But I think he's going to have DRS now. Meanwhile, Oliver has caught up as well. So we've got DRS on Burmeister and Sonic. But sector 2, Sonic ahead of Burmeister, ahead of Martin. Meanwhile, Oliver and Jishnu jostling for position. They keep it clean. Still one behind the other. Nothing happening there. Moving ahead, I think Redstone just keeping in the DRS touch with the car ahead. Oh, that was very close for Redstone. Just clipped the wall, I think, very close to the wall. But he's out of the DRS side. And meanwhile, there's a change in position at the top of the chart. I completely missed that again, guys. I need to get better at this. Sorry for that. But Andres already overtaken Hurricane and he's pulled out of the DRS as well. And he continues to pull out. So I think Andy is going to be under pressure from Redstone again. And maybe he's had a wheel spin. He made a mistake. I'm not sure what happened there, but he's going to come under pressure from Redstone now. Who's under pressure from MDJ? And we have DRS enabled. In all likelihood, Hurricane is going to be sitting duck unless, alright, they decide not to go for the move at turn 1. But definitely at turn 3 there's going to be some sort of an attempt, I'm pretty sure. Oh, Calvin is retired. Calvin is retired. I think coming out of the fast left and right penultimate corners. And there'll be a virtual safety car. No overtaking under VSC. You have to drop down your speed to 40% of the speed. You have to be really cautious as well while driving under VSC. If you're caught in red delta, you're going to get a drive-through penalty, and there's a full safety car. That's the first safety car of the night. Hopefully first and last, guys. Please do me a favor. And let's see if anyone's going to jump the ship and go for soft tires. I think top 10, in fact top 5 can still try and not really, because then it's going to be difficult for them to come out and clear. Anyone from top 10 pitting now is going to come out P10. There's a huge gap between P10 and P11, but then it'll be difficult to overtake as well. We've got only 4 laps left, out of which I think at least a couple of laps will be under safety car. So not enough laps to overtake. I don't think anyone should come in unless they've got damage. But this helps the soft runners a bit. I think this will help them to go to the end of the race without any major loss in performance. They can at least finish the race. That's gonna happen for sure. Oh no, so we've got a couple of the top two have pitted. And he's gone for softs. Same with Harry. There's no wing change. They've gone for softs. Let's see where they emerge. So no one's caught up to the safety car. Everyone's gonna maintain the delta. And I think they've come out at P7 and P8. Now guys, both the top two have pitted, chosen to pit, gone on soft tires. And P9 and P10 have pitted as well, and they've come out on soft tires. Now that makes things interesting, because from what I understand, there's going to be another lap of safety car. I mean, I don't think it's going to come in. It's a long lap, it's a long circuit, so maybe there'll be enough time for people to catch up. But if there is another lap of safety car, that will be like lap 7, and that means we go racing on lap 8 without any DRS. We've seen some penalty on Andreas as well. Let me just check. He's got 5-second penalty. Not sure for what. I have to quickly check that. Andreas got 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's got to be a bummer. He was leading the race. He decided to pit, and in the process, he got a speeding penalty. They have to pass at least 6 cars, both the leaders, to get back to the position where they were, and I'm not sure they've got enough laps for that. Still, the cars in the behind catching up to the field pretty slowly. There's an Aston Martin going all alone, so I think there'll be definitely another lap for safety car. And that means we're going to go racing only in lap 8. Not sure that was a very smart move from Andreas or Harry Kane. It's going to be, because sector 2 very difficult to overtake. Sector 3, beginning of sector 3, again through the fast left and right handles, you don't really try and make a move there. It's only at the exit of the at the main straight is where you make a move, and there the wings come into the play as well. And Sonic has pitted again. Did he hit someone and get a wing damage? Nope. What is this point of view, guys? Come on, show me. I think he got his wing changed. Cassidy is coming as well. I think not sure what happened there. But anyways, I think now everyone should be caught up and we can go racing again for the last 2 laps in the sprint. Redstone leading. The restart's going to be interesting again. So again, Baku, the circuit as it is, it's very tricky when you want to go, because if you go too early, you're going to give slipstream to the cars behind. So it's very important to decide when you want to go and you want to catch the cars behind off guard. But like I said, typically people wait till late to bolt off just to avoid the slipstreaming. And because it's the expected tactic, a lot of times people bolt off pretty early as well, because game theory coming into the play. So it depends what you want to do, how you want to go about it. So we've got top 6 on 6 laps old medium, and then we've got 3 runners on softs, out of which 2 were the leaders. We've got the safety car coming in this lap. Redstone just waiting and waiting for the safety car to go into the pit lane. Closely followed by MDJ, Smithy and Martin. Let's see when he goes. Still waiting, still waiting. The safety car is coming now. He can easily go off if he wants. He can bolt off. Like I said, he's gonna wait. He's gone, he's gone, he's gone. And MDJ has been caught off guard a little bit. Already gap of half a second. Smithy's been caught off guard even more. Martin is alongside him, ahead of him, but that can't happen. I think Martin can't make that move because they hadn't crossed the start-finish line. I'm expecting some sort of reporting on that. Meanwhile, Andre is already trying to make a move on Jishnu, and he's cleared Jishnu, and similarly even Kane has cleared Jishnu. So they've passed one driver, another soft runner is going to try and make a move on Jishnu, and he's made a move on that. Jishnu already on board with the McLaren, because Andre's got that 5-second penalty. That's not going to help him. He's going to drop right down the order. He's not got enough laps to build any gap as well. So let's see if the soft runners can make something stick with this sector and the last sector. That's the huge dive, and he's collected Martin. That was a very, very tardy move from Andreas. He just made a dive bomb and collected a couple of cars. One of the Aston Martins, and Aston Martin has DNF as well. Totally uncool, mate. Totally uncool. That was a desperate move, and I think you're gonna get reported really hard and bad. Meanwhile, the front medium runners, there's been change in the leadership. MDJ has overtaken Redstone. Not sure when that happened. I was busy focusing on the incident in the castle section. And McLaren has also fallen behind as a result. Brooke Smithy on him. I think clear difference. And there's a Mercedes as well, just swinging around here and there, trying to make a move. Brooke Smithy outbreaks himself and loses a couple of position in the process. It's all happening here for the final lap of the sprint. Now Redstone trying to make a move, and here comes Andreas. 3 wide into turn 3 we go. They made it cleanly as of now, I think. So Mercedes in front, and there's collision and contact between the Red Bull and the Mercedes. That never goes out of the fashion. And Andreas has just swooped in and taken the lead of the race. I think with his soft tires, I'm pretty sure it will be difficult for the medium runners to catch him or mount a challenge to him. But again, 5 seconds is going to drop him right down. Meanwhile, there's some action between Oliver and Burmeister. I think there was some coming together because Oliver's going pretty slow. And there's Forrest Jump and Smithy behind him. And Laser still struggling out there on the track. I think he outbroke himself and went straight ahead. Meanwhile, on the front of the pack, I think Andrea is going to easily win the race, but only after pulling off some uncool antics, followed by MDJ, who's been closely followed by Harry Kane. I think in terms of exit, Harry Kane is going to have a better exit, and he just blitzes past him, followed by Redstone on the mediums. Andreas drops because of his penalty, followed by Burmeister, Oliver in P6, Forrest Jump in P7, Kuipers P8, Wiggles P9, Cassidy P10, Sonic in P11, Smithy in P12, Orieglis P13, Laser P14, Jishnu P15, and Maggi P16. That was quite an eventful race, guys. A lot of things happening here and there. Some questionable driving for sure, but then it is what it is. Riggs, Martin, Calvin, and Xenon, all of them DNFing in the sprint. So now this will set the order for the race. I think in terms of pace, Andreas is quite clearly one of the fastest. Being on pole, I'm pretty sure he's going to pull away in the beginning of the race. Sorry, my bad. Andreas had the penalty. So it's Harry Kane on the pole, followed by MDJ, Redstone in P3, Burmeister in P4, Andreas at P5, Oliver P6, Forrest P7, Kuipers P8, Mr. Wiggles P9, and Cassidy in P10. And then we have Sonic and Ferrari in P11, Smithy P12, Orieglis P13, Laser P14, our debutant at P15, Matt G, Rex, Martin, Calvin, Xenon finish the grid. So we've got the entire grid tonight for the race. Again, I'm expecting some sort of carnage because the sprint had given a trailer right now. So I'm expecting at least 3 safety cars to be there. So I would suggest some sort of underfueling as well, guys. Alright, so we've done with the sprint. It was a bit of a chaotic race. Expecting something similar in the main race as well. 26 laps around the streets of Baku. Very fast sector 1 and sector 3 with a very intricate sector 2. Very technical in nature. Harsh on rear tires. Strategy is going to be interesting again. I think we're going to see a huge variety of mix of strategies, starting on hards, mediums, and softs of all kinds. So let's see how it pans out for everyone. And I'm hoping the formation lap is turned off for the main race as well, because I think if it's not, we're screwed again. And we continue to wait for the drivers to ready up. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And away we go. I think there were a couple of people reacting really early, but then we've gotten cleanly in turn 1. Till now, no contacts as such. There's no one losing their wing or anything like that, no squeezing as such. So everyone's through in turn 1, turn 2. We've got yellow flag in sector 1, and we've got the first retiree already, the Alpha Tauri of Rogue Smithy. And we've got a safety car. Awesome. So we're not even into half of the first lap, and we've got a safety car. So there you go. That'll give me time to set up the telemetry and the spectator menu. Let me just quickly fix that. So we've got, in terms of tires, we've got a mix of strategy in top 5, and we just decided to start on hards. Alright, it's a virtual safety car, guys, not a full safety car, so we gotta keep an eye on that. We've got Cassidy on soft tires. In terms of gap, Harry Kane has already built a gap of a second, about a second. And we've got green. There's still yellow light in sector 2. Not sure for what. We've got Jishnu limping in sector 2. He's gotten going now. So we have the green light now, and MDJ is pretty close to Kane coming out of sector 3. Riding on board with MDJ. See if he's gaining enough. He's getting closer, but I don't think he's getting close enough. And we've got a move made by Cassidy on Mr. Wiggles. Meanwhile, in the front, things still they're keeping it clean. And we've got some incident again. There's a virtual safety car, I think, coming together between Sonic spun, he's around, and there was a Haas of Kuipos as well who's around. We've got another virtual safety car. Sonic's lost his front wing. We've got Matt G coming out of the pits. So already there's a lot of incidents happening in the race. Sonic without his front wing in virtual safety car, that's going to cost him a lot once the virtual safety car ends. Matt G has already made his trip to the pits once, and we hadn't even completed one lap. Meanwhile, in the front, Harry Kane maintains the lead, followed by MDJ and Redstone, and Andrea's in close company on those hard tires. We've gotten green guys, so we're racing again. So the top 8 are all in close quarters with each other, within a second of each other, followed by Mr. Wiggles, who's some way off, about 3 seconds behind the top 8, closely followed by Laser. Cassidy in socks is going to try and mount a challenge now, trying to get a better exit out of the final 2 corners and take on the car ahead. I don't think he's close enough to try and make a move. Similarly, Forrest jumped 6 seconds behind, not enough to make a move. Oliver's getting pretty close to Baumeister, but I don't think he'll be able to finish the move while he reached turn 1. Baumeister had a very icky exit out of turn 1. That should bring Oliver right into the play. But Oliver now goes deeper into the corner. All of them trying to break the slipstream in the straights. And we have DRS enabled now. So that's sort of a DRS train now, starting from P1 till P8. No changes in position at the top of the standings right now. Meanwhile, there's some overtaking action going on behind the second set of cars. So Martin's overtaking Riggs and now trying to catch Laser, while Riggs is under pressure from Mr. Wiggles and Calvin's quickly catching them up. Redstone has fallen quite a lot behind. I don't know what happened there, but Redstone has fallen behind quite a bit from the front too, and is in the and there's a Haas that is just bumped against the wall, or was it the Haas? I don't know. It's so confused, but Redstone has fallen behind. Redstone has lost his front wing. And he is DNF. That was a bad shunt. I'm not sure what happened there, but we have a virtual safety car. Is it because the safety car has been reduced or something, guys? Because that definitely warrants a full safety car. Maybe it will get converted into a full safety car, I'm not sure. But Redstone had a big shunt after losing his front wing. I think he tried to brave it, full throttle, and it didn't come off. We have the full safety car clearly. And suddenly the Delta comes into the picture and everyone's slowing down. Now it becomes interesting. Do the soft runners blink, or do they continue and hope for another safety car? Makes no sense for the mediums and the hard runners to pit right now. Absolutely no sense. So now long and boring safety car session, guys. Not sure what and how I can entertain you during this time, apart from maybe some screaming from my cat. Bro, you wanna say something? You wanna co-comms with me tonight? He just walked off, ignoring me completely. Sonic's got a penalty. It's a drive-through penalty. Oh, so he ended up speeding during the safety car as well. He's getting his night back to worse. But I think it's a long race. He still has a chance as long as he just keeps going. Now the leader catches up to the safety car. Unless we've got Calvin pitting. Not sure if it's a wing change. No, it's not a wing change. So he decided to bolt on the hard tires. Not sure they're gonna go till the end of the race, but maybe he's hoping some safety cars in between wherein he can switch back to the mediums maybe, or go for a longer, harder stint and then switch to softer tires. So except Calvin, no one is pitted. I mean, during the safety car. We've got Jishnu pitting now, just as I see that. Let's see what he's putting in for. Alright, so tire change, he's moving from hard to medium. And it's the used set of medium that he's going back on. So I think after this there'll be one more lap of safety car. Not really sure that Jishnu is going to catch up to the pack by the end of the sector 3. So there'll be one more lap of safety car. I'm just gonna take a 5-minute break, guys. Gonna go on mute. Hey guys, so I'm back. Sonic has still not caught up to the field. I'm not sure what happened there. So I think as a result, we might have a very late safety car in call. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I think we've gotten the safety car coming in this lap call now. Given that now Hurricane has backed off. Let's see who's gotten the tires to light up, and when Kane goes, everyone's trying to warm up their tires. The safety car is entering the pits now, and he's gone, and Kane is gone, closely followed by MDJ, closely followed by Andreas. I think everyone's pretty close right now. Let's see if anyone's trying to make any move out of turn 1. Nothing doing there. The order is still maintained. No moves happening there. So I think status quo still remains the same. No changes in position at the SC restart. And slowly, I think everyone's now gonna get their tire temps back in the range. Sonic has lagged behind quite a bit. I think he wasn't able to catch up. Oh, we've got an incident. We've got a Red Bull around. Not sure what happened. And he's lost his front wing completely. Skidding all around, but he's gotten going. So we've got green flags now again. Oh, let's switch up oversteer, and we've got a penalty for Burmeister. I think it must be for corner cutting coming out of the castle section. And he's lost a bit of time as well to the car ahead. But Andrea's struggling a little bit to get those hard tires back in the range. Let's see if he's closing up to MDJ or not. I don't think so. Looks like MDJ. Both have gotten similar wings. Meanwhile, Burmaster have fallen out of second mark. The car ahead. Cassidy is going side by side with McLaren. Hope they keep it clean. We don't want another safety car, guys. And his teammate is right behind trying to jump on Cassidy. It's Celtic versus Rangers, and Martin has gotten through. Oh, and Cassidy spun. I think he hit the wall and he just spun. Those soft tires are finished. I'm telling you, those soft tires are just not working anymore. And that has sort of screwed his race. Meanwhile, Coopers and Maggi going side by side. That's a very tight corner, not a place for overtaking, but the Haas has sort of made it through, and there's an Alpine sticking its nose in between. It's got the inside line. That's a very decent move, but I think it was safe play by Maggi, and credit to him. But oh, and Maggi was really close to the wall there. So Haas has gone, oh, and that's Mr. Wiggles. I think he had a wheel spin and he just hit the wall. I don't see any damage on his car, but he's lost a lot of positions as a result. Martin's now getting up pretty close to the McLaren of Laser. Let's see what wings both are running. McLaren, and we've got a yellow flag in sector 3. I think, I'm not sure who's it for. So MDJ has caught up to Hurricane quite a lot. Within a second, I think the DRS has been activated already. Will he go and dive inside? No, he thinks better. Oh, that was pretty close to the wall. And Andreas has also joined the party slowly. I think now is the time when Andreas' tires are gonna start coming to him, and the medium runners are gonna start losing some grip, especially out of the corners at the exits. So this brings Andreas back into the fold, and pretty strongly at that. While the Haas of Burmeister not able to close the gap to Andreas, there's a separate train of P4, P5 and P6 with Laser closely following, and this is also where Laser's hard tires are going to come into the play again. It's going to be difficult for Martin to mount a challenge to him, and the cars ahead are going to be under threat. As you can see, he's already closed on the gap to under a second, and McLaren and Williams are trying to jostle positions. You clearly see that they're struggling for the grip, bringing the McLaren right into the game. Meanwhile, there's a change in the lead as a result of the DRS. The Mercedes has gone ahead, and also Williams moves ahead of the Mercedes thanks to the DRS, while Laser bides his time. Oh, the Mercedes hits the wall. I think Oliver had a bad exit out of turn 1. Oh, and he's really struggling. He's definitely gotten damage. That's gonna make him really vulnerable to multiple overtakes. Martin coming in for Oliver and easily passing him. Oh, Oliver's gonna struggle a lot, especially through the sector 2. He's got some gap behind him, but I think he'll have to come in now. Most medium runners will have to. The top 3 are running pretty close to each other. I think Andreas just driving it slowly and taking it slowly. There's yellow flags in sector 2. Oliver's retired. Oh, and I'm not sure where he retired. Oh, it's just entry into the castle section. I think he just didn't get the car to turn in enough. And we've got a full safety car. That means all the medium runners are going to get a free pit stop. So that doesn't work out for Andreas for sure, but it works out brilliantly for all the medium runners. They're going to bolt on the hard tires and they can go till the end of the race now. Do we have a situation of double stacking anywhere? I don't see them. The Alpines, the hard runners, I don't think hard runners would be pitting. MDJ is in the pits. Harry Kane is in the pits. Andreas is also pitted. So that's going to be interesting. Is he confident of taking the mediums to the end of the race? That will be interesting to see. Everyone pitting except Laser, who had the hard tires in the first place. Chishnu also not pitting, obviously. So all the medium runners are pitted for hards. Even some of the hard tires are pitting now. I think they're going to bolt on the mediums, the used mediums, and hope for another safety car later in the race. Bro, it's not even 50% yet. Alright, so we've got Laser with 10 laps old hards leading the race, followed by Jishnu with 6 laps old hards. MDJ with net lead of the race, having stopped and having the freshest tires, followed by Kane. Calvin in between with 6 laps old hards. So I don't think the 6 laps old hards are going to be enough to go till the end of the race. The tire differential and the degradation, the drop in performance in this game is huge. Alright, I'm just going to invite a fellow commentator so that it's not as drab and boring. Bear with me guys, couple of minutes. Just a couple of seconds. I'll be back. Hey Malav, can you hear me? While he joins and his audio is connected, we are back behind the safety car on lap 12. Hey Malav, can you hear me?
Yes, hello Utkarsh.
Hey, finally, so now I have a co-commentator with me, and you joined the lobby as well as a spectator?
Yep, I'm in the lobby spectating a few cars going through Castle right now.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
good to be back. It's been a while since I've commentated on an SFR race. It's been a few months, maybe more than that.
But then you're the goat of commentating, brother. You're the goat. So welcome back to commentating for SFR. I think safety car is going to come in this lap, so let's keep an eye out on the leader. He's got 11 laps old hards. A lot of mix of strategies going on here. I think people are going to expect another safety car, and accordingly they've decided, even the hard runners have decided to put on mediums. It's going to be really interesting how it pans out. So the top two are going to be under a lot of pressure for sure, I think, given the tire differential on this game. Let's see when he goes. So I'm on board with Laser, just trying to catch him bolt off with Jishnu in close company. He's taking it, and he's gone now. And he's got Jishnu a little bit off guard. Now we've gotten green light and we've gone racing again. And we can clearly see the top two struggling for grip because of their older tires. It's difficult to make a move, and Jishnu is trying to make a move on Laser, but he decides better of it. There's a McLaren trying to make a move on MDJ, but doesn't make it stick. Andrea is also coming in hot on his mediums. He must be having a lot of grip on those fresh mediums. Jishnu has already lost a place, and he's trying to squeeze McLaren of Harry Kane, and there's collision, and then Jishnu is collected by Andreas. Obviously that's going to happen in that section, guys. You guys are going to go side by side. Meanwhile, Sonic has come up to P5, albeit on 8 laps old hards, and we've got Harry Kane passing his teammate, and that's a prudent move given that he's on fresher tires, while MDJ has taken the lead of the race again. So net leaders are back in their respective positions, while Laser struggling with old 12 laps old hards. He's going to come under
And
serious
Sonic Hawk
pressure.
has lost his front wing there.
He's lost it again. He just can't catch a break. He's had so many incidents.
Yeah, he'll have to peel into the pits now for a wing change, and that's very unfortunate considering he was probably looking for a different strategy here.
And
And
Jishnu is
Jishnu is retired. That has, well, I'm not sure if it's
And it's the penultimate corner. I think he must have lost his wings and must have tried to brave the fast left and right without any lift. And Burmeister is also retired.
Yeah, well, that's in the pits. Burmeister
alright.
got a 5 second for speeding in the pit lane. Forest jump is so a lot of retirements. That's 3 retirements back to back. I'm not sure how Redstone Derp retired as well, so I see a few familiar names here.
Shunt. He made a shunt. He had a huge shunt actually, Redstone. But a lot of people retiring in the pits. I think they're a little fed up of the racing etiquettes maybe. And also it's a tricky circuit. I mean, very slim margins for error. Meanwhile, at the front, Harry Kane is hounding MDJ, both on the similar strategy. With Andreas quite a few distance back. I think Andreas might be carrying some damage because he's on pressure softs, mediums, and he's pretty quick. So I'm not really sure. Okay, no, now the gap's closing, so that's fine.
There's no visible damage on the Red Bull of Andreas. And probably those mediums should last until the end of the race. So he's in a very good position right now as long as he can catch up to the top 2.
Yeah. And Kane.
Here goes Harry Kane.
Oh, they come so close. Making contact. And Kane is taking the lead of the race now. But
behind Calvin racing in the pits, I'm sure that's an unscheduled pit stop. Yep, that's a wing change for the Alpine driver.
Alright. Meanwhile, MDJ keeping Harry Kane honest. While Andreas is catching them corner by corner. Oh, they're really close. I mean, MDJ is just like nudging in on his gearbox, trying to force him into some sort of an error. I think they're going to keep swapping positions with DRS and Andreas coming into the play as well. The only question is going to be whether Andreas' tires are going to last or not.
I think Andreas could play it smart here and save his tires for the next few laps and let the hard runners kind of drag him along and then probably use his tire advantage, because if he does it right now and is not able to pull away and make that gap of more than a second, it's no use, because towards the end of the race it will be the hard runners who will have the ascendancy.
Now MDJ to DRS. Goes past the McLaren, breaks into turn 1, completes the move. Meanwhile, Andreas, like you said, is playing the slow game, just getting a toe from these two, trying to save his tires. Now Harry Kane has the DRS, but will he try and make a move? He thinks better of it, and I think he's happy to just follow in sector 2.
So it seems like in terms of setup, Andreas has probably more downforce than the other two. Despite having DRS, he was not able to keep within that 1 second window, but immediately look at in sector 2 or towards the end of sector 1, Andreas is able to follow. So this might be a good strategy just to stay behind. But you never know. I'm not sure if red flags are turned on for this league or this division. But anything could happen, and sometimes you don't want to leave it too late to overtake a car, especially when there are 2 cars in front. a lot of league racers want to be the second in the queue
Yep.
until the last moment. And not
Especially
third.
on a track like this, which is DRS dominant track.
Absolutely. I'm also concerned a bit about the soft runners. I don't think any of those cars are going to, any of those tires are going to last until the end of the race, except maybe Well 1KZ and Calvin Racing, who are the last of the runners so far right now.
So I'm on
that's
board
something
with
to watch out
Martin
for.
now. He's catching Laser, who's on 15 laps old hard. Martin on 5 laps old hard, and he easily passes him with the help of the DRS. I'm pretty sure he's going to pull away now because Laser is going to struggle really bad to get in. Oh, and Laser tries to come back with a dive in, but just keeps away.
Yeah, while we were watching that, there has been a lead change once again as Hurricane overtakes MDJ for the lead of the race. So these two are just gonna probably not fight each other too much unless they are in DRS zones and ensure that they lose minimum time. Andreas once again outside of that 1 second window, and look at him catch once again through the second sector. That Red Bull probably could have carried lesser downforce than what Andreas like.
Yep. Elsewhere, we've got Calvin and Ray coming together, and Calvin now is pretty late on there, and in the process gets passed by an Alpine of, sorry, Matt G gets passed by the Alpine of Calvin. I'm on board with Matt G, who's got fresh mediums bolted on, so I think he's going to be pretty quick once his tires are up to temperature.
And there's going to be a change in the lead once again, so that's just going to be carbon copy of the laps that have gone by so far, and here goes MDJ on Hurricane.
So they're just trading positions between themselves, trying to keep it clean.
Pretty sensible racing, I would say.
Yeah, but I think Andres is just intentionally not trying to get into the mix. Now Harry is trying to make a move out of turn 2, which I think he's going to complete. And now this time he's going to be the one ahead for the length of the lap. Meanwhile, Andres is happy to sit behind and play second fiddle. Meanwhile, Laser is still pretty close to Martin. Martin, despite having 10 laps younger hards, is not able to pull away. I'm not sure what's happening there.
Yeah, and I wonder where Laser is gonna pit, because he's not made his mandatory pit stop since the start of the race, and we are 8 laps from checkered flag after this one.
Yep.
So probably this is the lap when he decides to pit. I'm not entirely sure. Never driven Baku on this game, nor do I intend to. But I am not 100% sure how long those soft tires can last on lower fuel. So with the lighter car, he might be able to
6 laps, not more than that. 6 laps at best.
Okay, then he might want to wait a couple of laps and then dive into the pits. Maybe hope for a safety car. That would make things very easy for him. And Sonic Hawk is on the back of someone whose name I just can't pronounce. He's fast and he's up into P8.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Harry Potter spell, to be honest.
Meanwhile,
here goes MDJ on Hurricane once again.
Yeah, I think that's going to keep on happening. But then I think credit to these two, they've managed to keep it clean despite trading positions. They haven't really made any error of judgment or anything of that kind, missing their baking point or trying to dive bomb each other. So pretty healthy
100%.
racing.
I think that's very sensible racing, and I think what they're doing is also ensuring that Andreas does not win this one. I think what they must have thought to themselves is, let's just ensure we protect ourselves from the Red Bull and then we'll sort ourselves out towards the end of the race, because the advantage which medium tires have, I think it's pretty much diminished now. I don't think
Yeah,
the mediums
exactly.
are theoretically a faster tire right now.
Yep.
And with 7 more laps to go, there is a cliff which the mediums will hit. And after that, Andreas can probably just settle in for third place, unless there is something else at play.
Cassidy and Orieglis going side by side in a very tight section. Not advisable to try and make a move there, guys, at all. And Cassidy is through. But Orieglis is hot on his heels. Meanwhile, Maggi has dropped back by quite a bit on his fresh medium.
This is one of those rare laps when on the main straight there is no change at the lead. But I think
I think Embize did not activate his DRS. I think, I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that that happened. But I think he's not close enough even on this straight to make a move. So
yeah, he's not. So
the top three really close.
Someone
Laser
pits.
pitch.
That's
Laser
laser
pitted.
finally into the pits.
Finally he's fitted.
Yeah.
Let's see where he comes
he
out.
will come out in P8. Let's see what he does versus Aston Martin. It's going to be close with Cassidy, but he just comes out ahead of Cassidy. So that's P8 for Laser. Now let's see if he can catch up to Sonic Hawk, which theoretically he should be able to, considering Sonic Hawk's tires are pretty second hand right now.
Yep.
And there's some side-by-side action there with Coopers and Wiggles. I think the Williams just keeping behind the Haas.
Oh, the Haas completely got out of shape entering the castle section.
I think this time Andreas might be very close, but so is MBJ on Hurricane. I'm not sure if there is a double overtake coming here, but I think Andreas is gonna pull through as well.
Oh, he just almost
for a double
bumped into
move.
them. And Mercedes came off worse out of that. I think he's got damaged, Mercedes. Mercedes trying to come back, and he's gonna better exit from Andreas. And the Mercedes is through with the help of DRS, trying to make a move on Kane, completes the move on Kane, and we got status quo.
I think really Andreas probably realized that he pushed a bit too much there, and that overtake was not exactly.
And Andreas must be starting to feel those tires now. 10 laps is.
But I think he also let MDJ through at the exit of turn 2. Just pulled towards the left of the track, and despite having DRS, he got overtaken. So probably he thought that might be reported anyway later on. So want to battle it out on the track than in the stewards room.
Fair enough, but I think Andreas is gonna have to visit the stewards room for the sprint race. I think he made a questionable dive bomb in the sprint, so that is definitely gonna get reported.
By the way, I'm not sure what happened to Sonic Hawk because Laser is ahead of him.
Yeah, so he had to pressure tire.
Laser is now on the back of and the Laser is on the back of the Haas now, so that would be an easy move for him. Andreas very close to Hurricane, but he still does not use his battery, or does he this time? No, he does not. So he's still happy being P3.
His tires must, and he's got a better exit out of turn 1.
Here he goes. Yep.
But then he get the DRS. The McLaren has the DRS as well as Andreas.
Yeah, because they both are within 1 second of the Mercedes.
So now I think
Laser probably will make another move.
Meanwhile, Laser overtakes Kuipers quite easily with the DRS and pressure drop. And there's an Williams that tries to make a move as well, and he just outbraked himself, the Williams, and as a result lost a couple of positions. Sonic Hawk.
He has lost his entire front wing, the Williams.
Oh.
So that's gonna be a trip back to the pits.
Yep. He just outbraked himself at turn 1, trying to make a really ambitious move. That sort of screwed up his race. He's gonna get swallowed by everyone behind him. Meanwhile, Sonic on 8 laps old softs trying to catch 13 laps old Sculpers. And Laser is pulled away quite a lot from that bunch. Meanwhile, Martin having a solitary race all by himself at P4. And now we come to the top 3. Hurricane still within the DRS window, so I think both of them are going to get DRS, and that's going to put pressure on MDJ. We enter into lap 3. There's a decent exit, but I don't think it's good enough. Those tires must be screaming right now for Andrea, I think.
And Vickers has stayed out basically, so he has no front wing, but he still stayed out. And he's going to be out of points as Sonic Hawk overtakes Coopers.
I think Cooper's gonna have a DRS now, but it doesn't have a decent exit. I don't think it'll be good enough for him to mount a challenge to Sonic. And Wiggles now finally entered the pit. So at least he'll be finishing the race without any risk of DNFing with that broken front wing.
Yeah, and I think this is the last lap where we could get a safety car, and then the leaders cross the start-finish line, and lap 24 begins. There won't be any safety car deployed by the gate, so probably that's Wiggles out of the points now unless something untoward happens to people ahead of him. And let's see what kind of racecraft does Andreas and MDJ exhibit, because this is going to be a very difficult battle for Andreas. He has a lot of battery in store and he has DRS, but in the traction zones it will be the Mercedes which will be superior.
All three of them very closely bunched together. I think it's going to be a strategy game as well, because in terms of tire life, Andreas must be struggling quite a lot by now. And I think at different exits he's gonna be quite vulnerable. If Harry Kane is smart enough, maybe he can take advantage of that.
Yeah, but see, this is where his setup, and again this is theoretical, but if his setup is indeed a slightly higher downforce setup than others around him, he will face lesser understeer than what he would have otherwise. So probably that will help him keep in touch with the car ahead, but you can see slowly but surely he's losing some advantage, and the DRS of course is going to be very powerful down the main straight and into turn 3. So he still has had a couple of opportunities, Andreas, but with the battery usage he should be looking to get past MDJ, if not on this lap then on next lap, and then solidify his P1.
Andreas is closer to MDJ than Harry is closer to Andreas. He doesn't make a move this lap. I think he's going to try and leave it till the drag race to the line in the last lap maybe.
Yeah, Yeah, and if Hurricane plays his cards right, he could go for a double overtake. Maybe at the last lap or towards the end of
Meanwhile,
the race.
Cassidy gets past full first and they're doing it in the fast left side section. And Calvin is also interested in this battle. There's gonna be double overtake on
Might go for
Cassidy.
both of them. Yeah.
And we got what happened?
Nothing that happened to the leaders. There was a yellow flag. Probably a lapped car.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
the
that's a
Red
lap
Bull
car.
of Xenon. Yeah.
Of Xenon.
Alright, so I'm gonna stay with the leaders, I think. Calvin's gotten past Pulpers and they're, I think, jostling together. Oh,
Cassidy's off the track.
Oh,
But either way, his last lap of the race, Utkarsh, take it away.
Alright, so now we're with the leaders entering the final lap and this is pretty close to MDJ now. Is he going to complete the move? He will have to because he's quite close and he'll have the DRS. So Andrea is going to take the lead of the race now. And whether Hurricane can complete a move on MDJ as well as a result of the DRS, no he can't. So as of now it's Andreas followed by MDJ. Oh, and Kane has a huge lot of oversteer. That's going to cost him the exit. Meanwhile we've got yellow flag in sector 2. MDJ is
Yeah, that's
DRS.
because Cassidy has crashed in the castle section.
Alright. So on board with MDJ. Keeping it close with Andreas. But will he have enough battery to mount a challenge on that final straight? Harry Kane still keeping both of them honest, but he's quite a bit back. I'm not really sure if he'll be able to get close enough to be a part of three-way drag race. MDJ pretty close to Andreas now. It's definitely gonna come down to the battery and the drag race along with DRS. No one's making any mistakes. Alright, here we go. 27% for MDJ, 75% for Andreas. Both of them deploying energy, even Harry Kane deploying energy. 6/10.
Yeah.
But now the DRS is going to kick
Kane
in.
might just get MDJ here. Yeah, there you go. He's gonna get MDJ on the line.
Oh, that was super close. So Kane gets MDJ 3,000ths of a second. Meanwhile, Laser has gotten past Martin already. Wow, I missed that. On those softs, Laser got past Martin and he's gonna finish P4 now. And Sonic Hawk,
And
what
Calvin
a
and
brilliant
Coopers.
comeback. And Matt G. So I think Calvin's gonna get the DRS and that should be another drag finish to the line.
I think Coopers might just about have it there.
Oh, and they maintain their position. But Sonic Hawk was dead last in the first half of the race. He had already made, I think, 3 or 4 pit stops. Yeah, Sonic had made 4 pit stops, got multiple wing damages, but somehow he managed to continue and soldier on and finish P6. Oh. But still better than Division 2. I think lesser safety cars. Division 2 had 4 or 5. This one had 3 safety cars if I'm not wrong. But congratulations to Andreas. I think he drove brilliantly, very smartly, and took his chances when it mattered. Huge credits to MDJ and Harry Kane for keeping it so clean. I'm gonna go ahead and now invite them to the party, Malav. But I'm not sure if they are in my friend list. So let me just try and do that. I'm gonna pause the stream for a bit. Hello, MDJ. Thanks for joining the party. Just gonna wait on Andreas and Harry Kane. I've asked them to join as well. I'm not sure if they have. just you and me. Ask them on Discord as well. So we're just gonna wait a couple of minutes in case they don't join. I think we'll just have a chat with you, and then maybe we can call it a night. Alright, I don't think they'll be joining, mate. So let's go ahead and have a quick chat about your race. So first of all, congratulations on the podium, MDJ. I think that was a really intriguing race. Andreas played his cards really well. He let the two of you battle and stayed in the tow, and then finally just got through. So I just want to ask you how your race went about, and the main race, not the sprint. What's your take on your race for tonight?
Yeah. Well, the the sprint was really good. It was some good racing. Hard to overtake, but after starting P4, I tried to. I did my best, and because of some penalties and stuff, I still came second, so that was good. And then with the race itself, being in the lead in almost all race, to be overtaken in the last 2 laps, it was pretty annoying. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. So I think Andreas, the safety car came at a very perfect time for the medium starters, and that just set you guys up, I think, from a strategy perspective.
Personally, I think that it was perfectly for the people that were going into the hards, because I was on the hards and my tires were basically dead.
Yeah.
If I was going for another 3 laps, they would not have survived. So the fact that that the Red Bull finished the race on those mediums, I'm impressed. So
yeah, definitely. So I think, like I said, while the two of you and Harry, while you guys were jostling for position, he just kept his distance enough to be in the tow of the DRS. So I think he was going really very soft on his tires, and that is what ultimately paid off for him. And from my understanding, overall, I also think Andreas had a better pace and one of the fastest cars on the grid tonight, and he just waited for the right moment to get the win done.
yeah, I think that as well. Yeah.
And another thing that we were discussing, that credit to you and Harry, that entire race you guys were swapping positions, but not once did any of you make any reckless move, any dive bomb, or even any kind of mistake in terms of missing a breaking point. So for that, credits to you guys. Congratulations on the podium, and I think well deserved.
Yes, thank you.
Alright, so I think that's it from our side for tonight, guys. This is Utkarsh, my first ever commentary job on SFR. Hope to do a better job next time. So good night. See you around next time in Miami.